Pokemon's pretty much been around for the entire time that I've been alive, but Arceus has to be the greatest Pokemon game that's ever been released. So much in fact that it makes just the previous entry look completely outdated. So you don't know about what makes Arceus so good and what it has to offer? Well, check out this ad that Nintendo made.
This video is in no way affiliated with Nintendo or Game Freak.
You asked for it, so we delivered. Experience family-friendly animal fighting like never before with your right analog stick. This new action RPG from Game Freak will let you tackle the wild the way you want. Whether you're throwing the balls or battling it out, get ready to catch them all and eat nothing but potato mochi in your new favorite $60 time sink, Pokemon Arceus. Oh, fuck, it's so good! And we'll probably throw this concept completely out the window on the next Pokemon title. We've had a lot of Pokemon spin-off games, but this is the first time that Game Freak decided to put on its big boy pants and try something different with a big boy console game. I'd arguably say that this is the most ambitious Pokemon title to date, and I think that this is what everybody was kind of expecting from the last game. You know, when we were getting a Pokemon game for the Switch, everybody was like, this is going to be the next gen, the biggest leap for the series, and it just turned out that it wasn't. But I'm happy to say, I think that we can say that this is now. So for the most part, it seems like Pokemon games have generally always been a linear, one-direction experience. But Arceus here presents itself as an action RPG. It really does. It says it here on the back of the box, so it has to be true. Now, instead of going from one linear area to another linear area, you actually have open areas, like open worlds you can go out and explore. Arceus makes it clear that it's not your average Pokemon game right off of the bat by starting you off by talking to God or some mythical spirit in the sky. You know, instead of talking to a professor for the 50th time about what a Pokemon is. You get sack dropped down onto a beach, and then you actually talk to the real professor of the game, and then you start to get introduced into the world. When you first walk into the town, you're an outsider. Everybody's like, ew, what's this guy doing here? I don't like him. Why is he wearing a t-shirt? But as you play the game and progress, you go from level 1 noob to level 100 boss, and everybody has mad respect for you helping them out in the town. You're appointed... Oh shit. Hey, what up? This is Pizza Hut. You're appointed to a guild. Your job is to now survey the Pokemon and figure out what the hell that weird thing spinning around in the sky is. The wild area component in the last game almost feels like this alpha concept that they were using to experiment with, because it feels like they took that and made that the entire game of Arceus. You're now able to freely explore these levels as you please and do the missions whenever you want. You can run around and observe the Pokemon, catch them with or without battling. You can scavenge for items now because there's crafting and resource management elements to the game, action RPG. And it's like they took all of the criticism from the last game and matched it with all of the great things from Pokemon Snap that they didn't develop and meshed it all together with this Breath of the Wild element to it to create Arceus. Because the game is now brimming with fresh animations, a lot of personality, and it just looks really good. It's set in a time period similar to, I guess, inspired by feudal era Japan, which I think looks really cool. You explore these different sections of the region and it looks really nice. All of them have their own unique Pokemon, obviously. And as you play, you unlock Pokemon that'll help you travel by land and sea. It runs on a full day-night cycle. Alright, I got 2 heavy balls and I'm ready to set out on an adventure. Oh no, it's really dark outside and I'm scared. So you'll actually find different Pokemon at night, like ghost type. You'll even have these sections where there'll be like a rift in time bubble somewhere in the map and you'll have to run to it, and you can get specialty Pokemon with some extra loot that you might find, like these shard fragments and stuff. It's a really good way to earn yourself some extra cash. You'll use that cash in the village to do things like buy new items, get yourself a fresh cut at the barber, maybe get you some new clothes to adventure out with. And it seems like the town kind of evolves and changes a little bit with some of the side story stuff that you do. As you play and you do these missions, the shop, the merchant, the general goods store will get more items. And I love that they've added this village element to the game. It's something that even as a kid, I really liked in the older Pokemon games. I like being able to go into the towns and kind of have a break from the Pokemon stuff and just get to talk with the NPCs or go into the shop. I love stuff like that. This is a Poke robbery. So for the first time, these Pokemon actually pose a threat to you as the player. So they'll actually attack you out in the wild. And if you take too much damage or you drown, which you can actually drown in the first time that happened, it really freaked me out. You'll black out and lose your items. When you're moving around the wild, you can actually find players dropped briefcases and retrieve them, like a Death Stranding style type of element, which I was really surprised by. I didn't expect to see that. I don't have Switch Online, so I don't know if I'm just getting NPC ones or if there's online player satchel things at all, but that was kind of interesting. But one of the cool elements to this Pokemon game that brings it a lot of replay value and a reason for you to engage in the gameplay loop is that it's like you're actually researching the Pokemon now. So in previous mainline entries, you would capture a Pokemon, the name will get added to the Pokedex, and I believe that was about it. But in Arceus, you have to catch a certain amount of Pokemon. You have to see them perform certain moves, certain attacks. You have to defeat other Pokemon of the opposite battle type, like a grass type and a water type, or a fire type and an earth type. Earth, rock, normal. I played a Pokemon game before, I swear. But when you're out there in the wild improving this Pokedex and capturing Pokemon, that all goes towards XP to increase your guild score. I'm gonna call it your guild score. It's kind of like your player's XP. So not only are you leveling up the Pokemon, you're leveling up yourself and you're getting new star ranks. And when you get these new star ranks, Pokemon of a certain level will be happier to engage with you. You'll earn more money for your Pokedex research findings. And all of this encourages you to just keep engaging with the environment and just enjoying the general gameplay of the game instead of just being like, okay, I just gotta catch one of each Pokemon and then I gotta do the main mission and then the game over. Because of the new open world, it affords the game a lot more gameplay choice and reason for you to engage with that new environment that they've created, which is fun to do because the gameplay is really smooth. I remember when the game first booted up and I was like, oh, you actually get to use the right analog stick out of the wild area. That's cool. That was just a little jab towards Sword and Shield. Everybody knows you can do that. But just the act of moving around the environment, ducking, dodging, throwing balls, picking up items, it all happens really seamlessly and smoothly. Like you're not having to stop and read a text box every time you pick up an item. You can just keep going. You can capture this one, then you can capture this one, then you can pick up that and this and that, break this and ride that. And that really smooth gameplay makes playing the game just quite frankly fun. The only awkward thing about it is the gravity in the game. Like if you jump off of a tall mountain or something, you'll take fall damage, but you'll just kind of like float down awkwardly. Or if you're trying to run up a side of a mountain, it can be a little bit janky, but that's about the only jank part of the gameplay. If you were looking for some kind of variety in the combat, it is there. Like if you master an attack like a tackle or a poison attack or whatever it is, depending on which one you do, you could go agile and maybe you'll get to hit them 2 times in a row. Or you can go for the strong attack, but you may only be able to do it once. Other than that, the combat's still turn-based, which you may or may not like. If you were expecting a complete overhaul of that, you may not enjoy this. On that note, I will say that combat now actually takes place in real time in the environment instead of it just teleporting you to a little backdrop, which you may not think about it, but this has a big deal on the immersion of the game, and it just feels so liberating to actually just be able to move your character around while this battle's happening in front of you. Like, it freshens up the gameplay a lot more than you would think. While it's still turn-based, it's like turn-based in a lot more fun of a way. Like, as somebody who doesn't generally play games with turn-based combat, I didn't have a problem with this. Whenever you're using an agile or a strong move, it kind of reminds me of Yakuza when it goes into that cinematic mode, as well as the sound design when you're activating the stuff in the menus. I don't know why. I know that's the weirdest comparison you can make, but also, on that note, the sound design is really good. Whenever you get a new capture on a Pokemon, it'll do like this little firework that goes off of the ball, and it's really satisfying. Or whenever you're picking up plants or you're crafting new items, it just feels good to do. Sound design cannot be understated. It's a really important thing. Pokemon and battle attack sound effects kind of seems like they're just enhanced versions of the classic ones. Pikachu doesn't go Pika Pika, which is a little disappointing, but I get why. They wanted to have some consistency with the the sound effects. Can't blame them for that one. Everything from the gameplay and the sound design seems really consistent. It's really fun to play, and it's an overall great package. Although it does fall into some tropes that kind of bring it back a little bit that I wish I wouldn't have seen so much of. Like, they position this as an action RPG, and this has the illusion of choice effect that I've mentioned in my Hitman video that I just dropped 2 videos on. You should go watch those. Whenever you're presented with a dialogue choice, it's usually something like yes, or yes, but more excited. You never really have the option to say no, because no just kind of ends up meaning yes, if you get what I'm saying. It doesn't really seem like there's any story-altering dialogue choices. It kind of just presents you with the idea that, oh, you're making a choice during this conversation, so you're more engaged. Kind of would have liked to see them either not do that or maybe do a little bit more with that, but I get why it's there. A lot of games do that. Also, like any other Pokemon game, there's no voice acting. This is completely text-based, which you may or may not like if you were expecting that. We're not getting it this time around. Again, I can understand why they may not have done this, but it would have been nice to see some voice acting. I feel like with voice acting, you either gotta not do it or go all the way with it. I really didn't enjoy how Breath of the Wild kind of did like it's mostly text-based, but then you just randomly will get some voice acted stuff. So at least, again, it's consistent. Also, this is more of like a pseudo open world game. I don't know what you would consider an open world game, but I think most people consider an open world game like Skyrim or Breath of the Wild, where everything is in one contained world. You can run from one side of the map to the other side of the map. In this game, it's broken up into these different areas, so you can go to the beach area or to the snowy mountain area. This really didn't take away from the experience for me, but I can understand why people may have wanted that. Maybe we'll see that in the next Legends game. And I kind of would have liked to see a little more variety in the mini game sector. Like, I wish there was a little bit more to do in the village. I would have liked to go into the restaurant and try more food items other than the potato mochi, which is apparently everybody's favorite food in this game.
Now I can see why, because this shit is busted. Damn, boy, even the cat likes it.
I'm like 13 hours into the game, and I still have a lot more area to discover and things to do. If you're not trying to just beeline the main story, which I don't think you would be when you're playing a game like this, because that's kind of not the point of it, I could easily see you getting 20 hours out of this at minimum. If you're the type of person that likes collecting everything and doing everything and checking all the boxes, your collection ADD brain is going to love just collecting Pokemon over and over and over and doing the battles. And lost my train of thought. The gameplay loop's really fun, so you'll spend a lot of time in the gameplay loop and then you'll be like, whoa, I didn't realize I was just mindlessly running around doing stuff. If you were looking for a breath of fresh air, a drastic change in the series, Arceus is the game, dude. I think they knocked it out of the park. This is easily my favorite Pokemon game. I think it's the best one that I've ever played. In fact, it is the best one I've ever played. And I hope they keep up this formula. Like, I think this should be the standard Pokemon formula. This is what I would think of when I think of a Pokemon game. Getting to explore the wild, go see the wild Pokemon, catch them on my own fruition, watch out for the dangerous ones and the crazy rocky terrain. Let's just improve the formula and do this. Like, ditch that linear bullshit that the last game did. We want more Arceus. Are they gonna do that? I don't know. If for some reason you didn't get a notification of my last Hitman VR upload, make sure you got that bell turned on. I literally never say to do that, but honestly, I feel like people may be missing my videos that have subscribed to me, so keep that in mind when you're subscribing to me. Also, if you would like some more behind the scenes content, you can go check out my members tab, throw your boy a few bucks and get yourself some exclusive stuff. Ultimately, tell me what you think of Arceus. Hey, are you interested in it? Have you played the Pokemon series for a while? Is this what you were expecting? Is this the change that you think the series needed? Do you not care at all and for some reason watch the video all the way through? Don't know why you would do that, but if you're here, you might as well tell me why in the comments. Don't mind my voice. I've had allergies just destroying my body for the past week. I don't typically upload Pokemon content, so this was definitely an interesting one for me. I'm happy I picked this one up though. It was a good one. But until we get into the next game, or whatever we do on this channel, it's been T, and hope to see you guys later. Thanks for watching. I need to get some sleep before work, but that ain't gonna fucking happen. This guy stands here in the exact same spot every single day.